America has fallen. A self-inflicted energy crisis has been brought about by Joe Biden's green policies, which included reducing oil and gas production, introducing crippling regulations on the industry, and curtailing fracking licenses. Reducing capacity in favour of alternative energy sources was the plan. But despite a shocking cost, they have not come through. What a surprise. And a push away from fossil fuel has impacted supplies, stoked inflation, hurt manufacturers, and worsened the lot of hard-working Americans. Joe, has anyone seen where I left my glasses? Biden also tore up an oil pipeline deal with Canada just as the world was about to need more energy post-pandemic and following Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Plus, petrol prices have almost doubled. That's a lot of money just to fill up your Chevrolet or Buick. Do they still have Buicks? I used to love the Trans Am. And how different things could have been. The year before Biden entered the Oval Office, the US had just cemented its energy independence, becoming a net exporter of oil for the first time since 1949. All thanks to the bonkers, but occasionally very wise Donald Trump. It was, of course, Trump who warned Germany about being overly reliant on Russian gas in 2018 when he was in the White House. Take a look at this.
Very sad when Germany makes a massive oil and gas deal with Russia, where you're supposed to be guarding against Russia, and Germany goes out and pays billions and billions of dollars a year to Russia. And I think that's very inappropriate. And the former chancellor of Germany is the head of the pipeline company that's supplying the gas. Ultimately, Germany will have almost 70% of their country controlled by Russia with natural gas. So you tell me, is that appropriate? I mean, I've been complaining about this from the time I got in. It should have never been allowed to have happened. But Germany is totally controlled by Russia.
That was 2018. He's not that stupid, is he? Hashtag right side of history. They all laughed at the time, but now it's Putin that's laughing all the way to the bank. Hilariously, Biden, the first woke president the world has ever seen, is now in the process of a colossal U-turn in which he's reaching out to oil and gas companies for help to power America. And he's issuing oil and gas licenses like they're going out of fashion. Biden's plan to decarbonize America has gone up in smoke and is now nothing but hot air. Meanwhile, the Telegraph report, Joe Biden has quietly agreed to complete Donald Trump's border wall in one of the busiest spots for illegal immigration along the US border, in an open area of southern Arizona near Yuma, where 4 wide gaps have made the location one of the busiest corridors for illegal crossings. He's building the wall. But I thought Donald Trump's wall was a bad thing. I'm so confused. On the watch of Joe Biden, a man I like to call Slow-Mo Joe, America's foreign policy is the worst it's been since Vietnam, with the disastrous surrender in Afghanistan, awarding a mineral-rich country with billions of quid's worth of military equipment to the Taliban, a gang of heartless, marauding thugs who have set back women's rights in that country by 100 years. But the latest disaster is in relation to the US economy. The reality vacuum that Joe Biden inhabits reached its nadir this week, with the White House denying that America is in recession, in spite of the fact that the US has seen 2 quarters of negative growth, which has been the technical definition of a recession for 50 years. Here's the Financial Times confirming that the US is in recession. US enters technical recession after contraction in second quarter growth. So there you have it in black and pink. Unless you believe the untrustworthy and increasingly biased Wikipedia, who have just changed the definition of recession and locked the page for editing, presumably to help the White House. They've deleted the existing definition and replaced it with, there is no global consensus on the definition of a recession. How convenient. Lies, damned lies, and Wikipedia entries. How dare Slow-Mo Joe and the Democratic Party accuse others of fake news? Remember their abortive plan for a ministry of disinformation? They claim fake news, but they're willing to lie about the official economic statistics, telling Americans that they're not in recession. That takes gaslighting to a new level. Their former spokesman, Jen Psaki, also said that the Democrats are not the government of lockdowns, even though Democratic blue states like California have been lockdown fanatics and have demonized the likes of Republican State Governor Ron DeSantis for choosing freedom for the people of Florida months before others unlocked and unmasked. What we're seeing from the White House is the kind of sinister doublespeak that you would expect from North Korea or China. It's the same propaganda that will have ordinary Russians believing the war in Ukraine is going swimmingly. What hope is there for the free world, for Western democracy and for capitalism if the global beacon for all of those things, the United States, no longer adheres to basic economic facts? Biden's relationship with the truth has always been equivocal at best. What is the truth about his son Hunter's links to Ukraine and China and the contents of that notorious laptop? What is the truth about the impact of lockdowns in states that had them versus states that didn't? Or vaccine risk versus vaccine efficacy? Biden himself wears 5 masks, has been boosted 111 times, and gets COVID every 3 days. What's going on? With this latest recession howler, the White House appears to be at best evasive and at worst profoundly dishonest. If Slow-Mo Joe is willing to lie about America not being in recession, even though it is, what else could he lie about? But you know what the biggest lie is? Who is running America? Because take my word for it, it ain't this teleprompter reading scripted freak show of a man. Are you honestly telling me that he's there at every meeting, making key decisions in what is the most grueling and important job in the world? Is this guy in charge? This guy here? Watch this.
Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Bloody hell. Swallowing his words there. America has fallen. Their world influence has fallen. Their divided society has fallen, and their economy, with eye-watering levels of national debt, is falling too. Joe Biden may be the most dishonest incumbent of the White House since Richard Nixon, and is certainly, in my view, the most useless and ineffectual since Jimmy Carter. It's time now to impeach this guy on the grounds of poor cognitive health, incompetence, and dishonesty. The greatest country in the world has the worst president. America deserves better. Slow-Mo Joe is a no-go hobo, and he's got to go.